Hello guys, and you're welcome back. So in our last tutorial, what we did was to create this line art. So in this tutorial, what we are going to do is to continue and add our flats and then rearrange this piece of art. But before I move on, I actually realized this ear looks super weird because it looks like that. So let's just go ahead and fix this ear. So it's a good thing to group everything. So let's just go over to the ears group, open that, and click on the right ear, open that, and then click on the first, or let's try this, the main curve, this one. So I'll just click this and just drag this and bring it up a bit. It doesn't have to really align and match up, but yeah, that's it. But if you want it to match up, you can always drag a guide up here, and I think this is totally fine. So I'll select the one inside, which is this one, and it's locked, so I can't really select it, and I'll switch over to the node tool by pressing A, and I'll just drag this a little bit like so. I think that's too much, so I'll just put it back down a bit. Yeah, I think that's awesome. And I noticed there's a brush I'm using here on this guy. So this brush, let's just select style. I believe style 5 is what we used. Let me just zoom in so we can see that. And then this one inside as well. Let's switch over to style 5. And voila, there we are, there we go. Style 5. Style 5. I believe I actually added a curve here when I double clicked. So you can always be careful when you use the node tool, because sometimes you might add an additional curve you don't need, and that's going to make everything look super weird. So I'll just try to make this match up. Now what I mean is, for example, let's just use a simple example. So I have a nice stroke like so, and I converted that to a curve. Excuse me. So after I made that to a curve, I can hit the node tool. Now I can just select any of these edges and kind of like play around with this and move it. But if I click anywhere here by mistake, I'm actually adding points, and I'm making this much more complicated than it needs to be. So to fix that, select any point and hit the delete key just to get rid of any extra point you don't need. So that's just by the way. Let's select and let's delete this guy. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the part 2 of our inking tutorial. And in this second part, what I'm going to do is to apply some shading to this character, and then we'll call it done. So a couple of things I'd like to fix. I actually noticed this ear was a bit off, and that's why it's important to take breaks. So once you take a little break, you come back and you realize, hey, there's something off here, and you find it. So immediately I came back and looked at this line art. I realized, hey, there's something wrong with this ear. So let's quickly fix the ear, and then let's quickly set all our strokes, all our vector lines to be the same style. So because I used a little bit of example where I changed these, so I'll just set them back to this style. I think this leg as well, and we'll just set that to that style. And I believe the shape of the head needs to be in our default style as well. And I noticed this ear, if I'll just zoom in a little bit on this ear, so let's just set the entire style to be this one. This might be locked, so it might not really work. So let's go to the ear, and I'll select this one, set this style, select this curve, and set this style as well. So I believe everything is using the same style, so we don't want to have anything having a different style. So that's one. And then the second thing I want to fix is this ear, and it's not going to be a reflection of this ear, right? It's not supposed to be a mirror reflection. We just want to, you know, keep it unique. So here I can just start increasing this, but I like using the node tool. So I'll just hit A on the keyboard for a shortcut, and I'll start with the external one. So I'll just drag this up a bit, and I think we're good. That's it. Nothing super fancy. And I'll even leave this little one like that, no problem. You can see when we drag this, it's a slight difference, but hey, no two facial features are the same actually. So we'll just leave that the way it is, and that's super fine. So that's one. So secondly, let's start filling out this character with some colors, and then by filling it out, we'll understand what needs to be on top of what. And this is what I mean. So the first obvious shape, and I'll just put this down here. The first obvious shape will be the face. So I'll select the face and I'll go to fill, and I'll do it for an orangey kind of color like this. I think that's fine. Sorry, excuse me, just woke up. And also my daughter is gonna be, she's around, so she's just running around the house, so she might just popping a bit, and yeah, you'll hear me trying to beg my kid not to interrupt. I think I like this, and I'll just slightly tilt this like so. So let's see, we can have a hex value, but this HSV, I believe we can have the hex value. Okay, I don't know where it is, but I can swear to you there's a hex value. But the cool thing is, each time you use a color, Affinity Designer stores it for you right here, so you can see you have. I know we don't want a blue deer, so very weird color. We don't want a blue deer. So I think what I'll do here is to, okay, now we can see the head shape, but we can't see the eyes, and I like where the ears are, but we can't see the eyes. So what I'll do is to put the, let's try putting this under the bottom here. So if we actually, let's see this borrowed shape. We're not going to use this. I'll just delete it and save the project as, and I'll call this flats. So this could be version 3 underscore, these aren't lines anymore, so I'll just call these flats, FLATS, because this is the this where we're doing the flats. So we have the ears, so this is the head shape, and we can just close that. So we have the head shape, so the eyes, okay, this is our base, it's at the bottom right here. So this is what we're selecting now. So the eyes are on top, the mouth, and then the body. Let's go ahead and look for the body. So this is the body ellipse, and I want to put that here, right? So the body is going to be under the head. And to fill, I'll just use the eyedropper tool and select the color of the head shape, and now we have the body. For the body, if we look at the sketch, I put a little bit of ellipses here, and I forgot to add them. So this is this region here. I forgot to actually add them, so let's quickly do that real quick. So I'll select this, and I want it to be white, so I'll just make this not fully white, not 100% white, but just add a few ellipses here. Okay, it's using the same color as the background, so I'll and the body. Okay, good. So this is it, and I want to use a stroke, so I'll go over to this tool, go to stroke, and get rid of the stroke like so, and I'll add 2 more. So I'll just do a Control J. I'll move this down and just scale this down a little bit to like that, and I'll just add 1 more smaller one, Control J, and just scale that a little bit. If you want, you could just zoom in to a very high percentage so you can see what you're doing, and I'll just scale this one down a little bit. Nothing too fancy around there. And this, I want this to be part of the body, so I'll just select these 3 and just mask them to the body like that. So they're actually part of the body, but they're masked. So this prevents me from kind of like grouping. If I just mask this, it means if I select this and move it around, you can see it's still confined within the body. So that's one good way to group things together. You could just clip them. If you know you have a main shape, then you have other shapes that are inside, you could just clip them using that. And that's what we're going to be using when we want to do the rendering and add a little bit of shading to this guy. So let's go ahead and see the ears. Now the ears are, I want the ears to be behind this head, you can see the ears are above, and this curve, I'll just get rid of this curve right here. I use that to create a sample for the brush, so I'll just get rid of that. So let's look for the ears. So the ears are above the head, so we can see what's happening here. It means we can see this curved shape. I don't want to see it, so I'll just go and drag the ears right here and put it under the head, like so. So we have the oh, it's actually clipped inside. I'll bring it out like this, and make sure when we're dragging, it's not showing us the rectangle that's moving towards the right, just this one. And we have the ears, and I'll select for the outer ear, I'll use the same color as the body. So I'll just go over here, select this guy, or we can use the node tool. So this is our outer ear, eyedropper tool, select this color, and we're done. For the inner ear, I want it to look like, you know, more lifelike. So I'll usually use some sort of pink tone for the inner ear. So I'll just go over here and go to the fill, and let's look for something reddish like that. And we're not done yet, so I'll go over to color, and then with the color wheel, I'll just drag this and make this like so. So it just shows it's live, it's warm, and there's a little bit of blood flowing in there. I think this color is fine. So we'll do that for the other ear as well. So for the outer ear, I'll use the eyedropper tool, select this color, and then for the inner ear, eyedropper tool, select this color so it can fill this side here. So for the horns, we naturally it's brownish, so we'll just stick with the brown color for the horns. That's totally fine. And for the horns, let's open the horn group, select this guy. It's locked, so we can't actually see. Oh, sorry, I'm on the eyedropper tool here. So let's unlock this so we can select these, and let's pick a fill, a nice brownish fill. And what we'll do is to desaturate that. So let's just drag over here and make it slightly bright like that. So that's our horn color. If we want to add more color to it, I think I'll use this. Yeah, that's not bad. And then I'll just twist that a bit. So that's going to be the horn color. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. So let's select this other one, use the eyedropper tool, select this so we can fill that. We also want the horns to be behind the head, so I'll just drag the horns and drop them over here. And what we can do is to take the horns group and then move it down a bit so it doesn't look like it's floating. We'll just put it over here and we're good. So now what we want to do is to look at the tail. So the tail is going to be behind the body shape. So I'll just drag the tail and put it behind the body shape, and then use the fill. So I'll select and just click on this so I can fill up that tail. And let's see how that tail is looking. It's not looking bad. It's looking super nice. Okay, good. So let's select the legs and the entire group. Well, we want it to be the same color as the face, so I'll just use the eyedropper tool and select this, and we just filled the entire leg. And this is super weird. So I want these two legs to be behind, I guess. So that's so why is it looking weird? Let's try putting it behind the body like so. I think that's super weird as well, because so we're going to have some sets of legs to be at the front and the other legs to be at the back. So here I'll select this one. So first, sorry about that, my kid's just being naughty there. And I'll just pull this out of the group and put it in front like so. So we can actually see one leg in front. And what I'll do is to put this leg, this one, I'll put it in front as well. So I'll just drag this out of the group and put it here. And what I will do is to zoom in a little bit and adjust that. And I'll just put it here like that. And for this one, we'll just put it here. That's totally fine. So this is the front leg. So front, back, back. And then what we can do is to indicate that this leg is behind. So we darken it a little bit, or we shift the hue. You see that? We just change the hue to something different and slightly push this like so. So I'll select this one, use the eyedropper tool and select this color. So it indicates that this leg is in front and this leg is behind. So now what we are, don't forget that we have this nice little color here we want to use. So we can actually choose what color we want to use over here. Sorry, let me go just go check on my kid. She's with the moms and I think they're having the little mother and daughter issue. So I'll just pause the video and check to see if they're super fine. All right, so I'm back. Apparently my daughter wanted to eat raw sausage and the mom said no, so I had to go and separate that fight. But all seems quiet in the western front. So let's see now. So we have this shape inside, so we can select a color for the head shape. So let's make the head shape fill to something bright. Like so. And what we'll do is to fill these sections with the color for the body or the ear, anyone, since it's the same color. So we have one here, and for the inner curve we have another one for the inner curve, and we can see it actually, we have that nice little separation there. So our head shape is actually filled with a different color, and because these are masked inside we can't really see them, but we have this inner curve and this inner curve as well. So we can call this done. So let's see what we're doing here. I have all these and I'll group everything together as the character. So I'll click the nose, which is what I have on top, hold shift, go down to the ellipse, and I'll hide the legs. And I'll press Ctrl G just to group this, and we'll just call this our deer. So we have our deer, and what we can do is to turn off this, and you can see the little sketch, like so. Super nice, very cool indeed. There's some wobbly things here because when I was drawing, I usually tilt my paper. That's a really bad habit, but hey, we can always use the program to assist us and rearrange this. So now that that's done, I'll just save the video and create another one where we'll add the highlights and shadows to wrap this character up. See you in the next tutorial.